Hi, I'm Tiffany, and I am not chasing youth. At almost 57 years old, that ship has sailed, that wrinkle has formed and deepened, that gray hair has grown. So I'm not going to chase youth. But what am I chasing? Well, I will tell you, I am a wannabe wise old woman. That is what I would like to be. I want to be the kind of person that people come to when they are seeking perspective. I want to be able to be a good listener. I want to be able to give them good advice if they need it, or more importantly, help them see that they have the answers in themselves. A lot of times we already know the answers within ourselves. We just need someone to help show us that we know that. I want to be that for some people. This desire to be a wise old woman is kind of reflected in the current name of my YouTube channel, which is Ordinary Midlife Sage. Now, ordinary and midlife are just accurate descriptions of who I am right now. Sage is a bit aspirational. However, every personality tests, strengths tests, values assessments that I've ever taken have shown me scoring high on things like love of learning, wisdom, knowledge, that kind of thing. So, this idea of being a sage or being a wise old woman is kind of within the realm of my personality. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm always living out that wisdom and knowledge. I hope that as I age, I live it out more and more. But it does mean that the capacity for that is there, the capacity for strengthening that part of myself is there. So, how am I planning to pursue this? I have 5 action steps that I am currently taking to move myself to be a wise old woman. Now, will I know that I've made that and that eventually I become a wise old woman? I don't know. Time will tell on that. And that's really for other people to designate that. Do they find value in the things that I am helping them with? Do they seek me out? I don't know. But for me, these are things that even in the pursuit of being a wise old woman, I can kind of be that for myself. So I'm going for it. Now, the first thing that I'm doing is learning. This, like I said, love of learning is always at the top of any strengths finder test that I've taken. So this plays well to things that I'm naturally interested in. Right now, I am in the midst of earning a certificate of applied positive psychology, and that is a 9-month program. I'm about 6 months in so far. I have learned so much. It's been really helpful and really interesting. Now, secondly, I'm also deepening and expanding my reading life. So I want to read widely in things like positive psychology, culture and cultural issues, spiritual things, philosophy. I want to really explore those things and see how they can come together in interesting ways. Let those topics and books speak to each other in interesting ways so I can synthesize ideas from a lot of different areas. So that's the second way that I'm living into this idea of becoming a wise old woman. Thirdly, I want to learn from my own life, learn from my own mistakes, learn from the events and tragedies and things that have gone on in my life, just the ordinary, the extraordinary things that have happened, um, the difficult things that have happened. I want to learn and synthesize that. And now how I'm doing that is by being aware, by journaling those things, by just thinking about what have I learned through that, um, and trying to grow through all of these things is another way. So that's another way that I'm trying to become a wise old woman. The fourth way is that I'm practicing sharing. So, one of the ways I practice is writing on my email newsletter, Flourish 52. I've been writing that for over a year and a half now. And I will leave a link in the description where you can go to see that website and also sign up for the newsletter if you're interested. I put that out on Sundays. But the practice of coming up with and sharing things in that newsletter has really helped me synthesize some of these lessons. And then also, this YouTube channel is helping me do that. So, my newsletter is just writing. This, of course, is speaking, and speaking it out is just a very different way of making those concepts become concrete and helping to bring them into something that can be applied to life. So that's something I'm working on. I'm actively practicing doing that, taking the concepts and applying them to life and sharing it. Now, the fifth way that I am leaning into becoming a wise old woman is that I share these ideas with my family, with friends. Sometimes people come to me and they need a listening ear. They need somebody to just kind of give them perspective on things. That does happen sometimes. Other times, I'm able to weave things into conversations naturally. Um, I'm good at asking questions, so I ask a lot of questions of people and ask them to consider things. I do have a couple of friends who are young women in their 30s who are raising kids, and they will come to me for perspective since I have been where they are now with raising kids. And so I don't take that for granted. It makes me really happy to be able to share with them and to hopefully give them some perspective on what is a really difficult task raising kids, as many of you know. Um, so that's the fifth way that I'm leaning into this idea of becoming a wise old woman. So I hope that as I get older and older, that I will get closer to this, that I will become wiser, more knowledgeable, and I hope that I will also have developed real skills to help people to get perspective in their life, to make decisions, to move forward through difficulties. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm pursuing. I am a wannabe wise old woman. Who do you want to be? Either now, in your life now, or as you grow, as you think about getting older, what kind of person do you want to be? Maybe the wise old woman archetype doesn't really resonate with you. Maybe you score really high on loving and kindness, and you can bring that into the world, and you can also teach other people how to do that and how to be more of that. We certainly need loving kindness in our world right now. But there are so many ways that we can bring our strengths to the world. If you have never done a strengths test and you're curious what your strengths are, I will also leave a link to the VIA Character Strengths Assessment in the description. It's free, it's really easy to take. You're going to get a list of 24 character traits, and they will be in order of your strongest to weakest. But the good news is that even the ones that we score weak on are things that we can grow. We can become stronger in those things over time if we work on them. So that's good news. But it's really nice to know what your strengths are so you can kind of live into those things. Um, it's helpful as we move forward. So I think that's enough for this video for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this kind of content, consider subscribing to the channel. Somewhere on the screen, there's going to be a link to one of my other videos if you're interested. And I'd love to meet you in the comments. So if you have anything to share, leave me a comment and I will be reading and responding to those. Thanks so much. Have a great day.